Christmas in July. We are so excited to be here to recap the the unprecedented three movies the Hallmark Channel had in Christmas in July. So much fun. I am film critic Rachel Wagner, and Caroline is here.
Hey, y'all.
And we're so excited to have Betsie back on the podcast from Hallmark Happenings. Thank you so much for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
This was pretty exciting to have three movies for Christmas in July.
I know, I was so shocked. I'm like, three?
Yeah. Betsie, did you, aside from the three movies, did you get to do any other holiday movie watching in July?
Oh gosh, no, I should have. I mean, it's like a zillion degrees outside. I enjoy watching the movies like when it's 115, because you're like, oh, cold air, and you can see the breath when they talk because it's so cold. I'm like, that sounds nice.
Yeah. What about you, Caroline? Did you watch any classics?
I watched what did I watch? The Dashing Through the Snow with Andrew Walker.
Okay.
And I watched Home Alone on Disney Plus.
Yeah. Oh, the new one, the new Home Alone, or the
the new Home Alone
on Disney Plus. What did you think?
It was pretty good. I saw it before. I was just watching because I wasn't feeling good, so I was like, I'll watch some on Disney Plus.
Yeah. I thought it was confusing. They made some weird choices, like making the thieves making them likable, and like, I don't know, it was a weird movie. But I also watched some classics, non-Hallmark, and they're going to be coming up on my family movie night. I guess I'm doing Christmas in August because of Christmas Con and patron picks. So patron pick for family movie. And if you want to make a patron pick and have me review your pick, then sign up for the Patreon. But we had The Preacher's Wife get picked as a patron pick by Thaddeus, and I figured you can't review Preacher's Wife without also reviewing the Bishop's Wife. So we had the Bishop's Wife on for family movie night, and so I watched that. And then Preacher's Wife will be coming up and next week, and then or will be this week when this airs. And so that was fun to watch both of those. Is really cute movies. And then I watched another patron pick, watched The Christmas Ornament on Hallmark with Kelly Martin and Cameron Matheson, because I went on the Screen Drafts, their top 12 Hallmark movie episode with Dory, and she picked it as her favorite. Christmas Ornament is her favorite Hallmark Christmas movie of all time. And I'm like, oh wow, I got to rewatch that because it's been so long since I saw it. So anyway, so that's coming up for family movie night as well. And I thought it was actually really good. I can see why it's her favorite.
I do love that movie.
Yeah,
like Cameron Madison is great, and Kelly too. But I love that movie too.
Yeah, it's very sweet.
Story.
Yeah, have you seen that one, Betsie? The Christmas Ornament.
A little older, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like 2014, I think.
Okay. Yeah, it's been a while, but I think I saw it. There's a movie. Have you seen Christmas with the Cranks?
Yes.
I love that one. So fun. Every year, if I watch one, it's that one every year because it's just great.
So The Christmas Ornament is 2013, so I was close.
That's a classic Hallmark.
Yeah. This is really good. All right. Well, let's talk about our three movies for Christmas in July. And we started out with one on the 9th of July. This is my grown-up Christmas list, and it stars Kayla Wallace, Kevin McGarry, director Andrew Simek, who did Friend Fiance. I can't talk today, evidently. Writer Briar Freed, who did A Family for Christmas. And this one is Taylor, a journalist, and Luke in the military share a special bond that grows between them over the course of several Christmases that they spend together and apart. So Betsie, overall, what do you think about this movie?
You know, it almost felt like it could have been on like the Movies and Mysteries Network. It was a little more dramatic. It didn't have lots of like comedic moments. It was more of like a drama. And then we dealt with like when they showed them like walking with like those rifles in their hands in the middle of like Siberia. I was like, whoa, that's
Yeah, that was
crazy.
weird.
You don't normally see that. So that was a nice change. And then, Kevin McGarry's great in uniform. He just fits that, I just, when you think of him, you think of a uniform, and he looked great. I liked it. It was a nice change of pace compared to like the others, it was nice. I liked it. What about you?
What do you think, Caroline?
I like the first part of it, and then it got kind of weird for me. I like when they first met, and like the first Christmas they were apart, and then I got confused after that. I was like, what's going on? But I love their chemistry, of course, because Kevla, that's their name.
Kevla. That's a couple name.
Yeah.
That's funny.
And they're cute, and can't go wrong with like you said, Kevin in uniform. So that was a plus. But
I kept feeling like, okay, some big conflict is coming. He's like gonna die or get injured, or like something's gonna happen to her. Maybe she's gonna meet somebody else, and there's gonna be this conflict. But then it never did. It was just kind of like, it was very ordinary. And that's fine, I guess. But I don't know, just the way that even the music and just everything about it, I was just like, okay, something's big. They're really gonna, put on the waterworks. This is gonna be emotional. And it was just kind of like, okay, we're just waiting. Oh, it's longer. Waiting some more.
I felt that too. I'm like, something's gonna happen to him, and I'm gonna cry. I was like dreading it.
Yeah, and then it never did.
And I think I didn't get. Did he come back during like after the holidays? Or were they apart that whole time?
I think
that's what apart. That's what I said. I'm like, it was just confusing to me, that part.
Yeah. So, I overall liked it. It was cute, but I do think it underused the song. Like, if you're going to name it My Grown Up Christmas List, and you're going to have that song played at least 3 times, if not more, I feel like you need to have her making a list. There needs to be a grown up Christmas list in this movie, and there wasn't. And yes, like the song talks about, no more lives torn apart, no more wars. I get that. But it just felt like kind of a weak use of that song, which is such a good song. Amy Grant, a legend. That I don't know. I felt that was a little underwhelming, the use of the song. What do you think, Betsie?
I feel silly. I wasn't even familiar with the song. I'm
really?
The only person in the world. Apparently, I've been living under a rock all these years. But yeah, I didn't even realize that. See, it's the movie critic with us. She's pointing out these things I would have never thought of. So thank you, Rachel.
The meet cute was very cute. The Santa McGarry, as I've heard called.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah. He's very chatty. like this Santa is spending a lot of time with this person for their first meeting. But it was cute. And then they go on their kind of date. They have a pretty early kiss in this movie. I can see why you liked the first part better, Caroline.
Yeah, because I felt their chemistry there the most, and like it was just them together, and then they were apart. I'm like, I want to see them together.
Yeah. You know what I think could have been fun is if they had just like spur of the moment, kind of crazy, gotten married at the very beginning. And we're just gonna like almost on a dare kind of a thing, and it's probably just not something Hallmark would do anymore, but like I think that would have created some tension from the very beginning, that like they're actually married and apart, and do they really know each other, or do they I don't know. I think that might have been interesting.
That would have been fun.
Was there a movie, Kelly Martin, that she like was in Vegas or something and she got married? See, Hallmark would never do that nowadays.
I married
who? Loved that. Yeah, it was so funny. It's like, whoa. See, they could have done that and be like, wait, who are you again?
Yeah,
that was cute.
Have you ever seen either of you ever seen Army Wives?
Yes,
The show?
I love Army Wives.
So you know Roxy on Army Wives, right? Her and I forget her husband's name, but they got married like super fast. Over, and then they were like in the army together and everything. And so I think that kind of dynamic might have been fun.
I would have loved that. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, like really when you think about it, the second half of the movie, like hardly anything actually happens. It was like Zoom the movie. Yes, they're like, I kept waiting for more conflict. I was like, okay, she's gonna like meet somebody, and then it's gonna be, what's she gonna pick? She can pick the soldier guy, or is she gonna pick this other guy, or because they're not married, right? They're not even engaged until later. And I also thought when he called to get engaged, I thought, oh, they're just gonna get married over Zoom or something like that.
I thought he was going to show up like,
oh yeah, I could have seen that
trust,
too.
And I was waiting for that. I'm like, oh, they're going to be together. And then they weren't until the wedding. I'm like, oh, it was just confusing.
And they have chemistry as a real life couple, but then also like it is realistic. I'm sure that this is kind of the way it is, but like we don't really watch Hallmark movies for things the way that they are. We watch them, they're like amped up, you know, like nobody has a billion festivals like they do in Hallmark movies, or like fake engagements, or so yeah, I feel like they could have used the song better. I feel like they could have had more drama in the second half. And I especially that once she goes there, she goes to the base, and I thought, oh my gosh, something's gonna happen. She's gonna get hurt, or he's gonna get hurt, or something.
I thought they were going to get married there, like in Siberia or whatever it was. I'm like, they're going to get married there, and then they're going to have something when they get back. And then I was like, what's going to happen?
Yeah. We'd like to take a second and thank our sponsor for this episode of the podcast.
Escape to the Florida Emerald Coast this summer in The Beach Escape by Rachel McGee from Hallmark Publishing.
After a monumental heartbreak, Molly Lawrence is trying to start over as a traveling vet.
But Grant Torres, his charming dimples, and one stubborn loggerhead turtle named Chompers challenge the future Molly's imagined for herself.
The perfect beach read for your summer book list, The Beach Escape is a friends to lovers romance full of snorkeling, sailing, and of course, turtles.
The Beach Escape is available August 9th from Hallmark Publishing on Amazon and in stores at selected bookstores.
For more information about The Beach Escape and other titles by Rachel McGee, visit www.rachelmcgeebooks.com.
That's rachelmcgeebooks.com.
But they have the winter wedding. Betsy, what do you think of the wedding, her dress and the winter wedding that they have?
Oh, it was so pretty. She had like the red lipstick, and then she had like the little like shawl, like furry shawl thing. And then I liked the wreath behind them. Like that's what you think of when you think of like a Christmas wedding. I was like, oh, it's really pretty. Yeah. I thought it turned out really nicely.
What do you think, Caroline?
I thought it was pretty. And I thought, I bet this is weird for them in a way, like pretending to get married and they're a couple in real life. You know what I mean?
I've said for a long time, I think that it would be so cute if Hallmark, for every one of their wedding movies, they gave away a wedding. Wouldn't that be a cute little like giveaway? Like this movie's wedding is blah, 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 blah. And you could have like a little home and family sort of segment or interstitial or whatever, showing the couple in that, because you got it all set up there. And you could have, that would be so especially cute. Something like this, you could have like an army couple.
Yes. Yeah, I would like that.
It would be like what would be the downside for Hallmark? It'd be free. They have all the stuff just ready to go.
And like it was outside, like in the wintertime, like they look so cold.
Yeah,
like
it's true. They really did. Because she had short sleeves on.
Yeah.
And that like shawl thing wasn't really keeping her warm.
And the coldest part of the winter, apparently, from them on during the movie. Yeah. Like, more power to them. If I'm getting married at Christmas, I'm getting married in a church in the warmth.
Well,
while it's snowing outside.
Yeah, I would. That would have been cute, like a little church wedding thing,
Mm-hmm.
and then maybe have it like zoomed to all the other soldiers and have like his soldiers, his comrades, whatever they call, cheering them on and everything.
That'd be cute.
That would be really
Mhm.
cute. We could have made this movie way better already.
Yeah. Hire us, Hallmark.
What do you think, Betsy, of our ideas?
Fantastic, fabulous, you guys. Make it happen.
Yeah, it was kind of startling to see him and the other soldier out with these giant big guns. That was weird.
That was weird. Yeah. I'm like, what is happening? Like, like you said, it was like dramatic. Like it was like something's gonna happen, and then nothing happened.
It reminded me of the part in this movie Inception where they're in the snow trying to get to the house and thing. Well, here's my other pitch for this movie, if you're listening at Hallmark, is that you should now do it. This is one that you absolutely should do a sequel for, because they spent almost no time together in this movie, very little. And so now we need to know, okay, what's going to happen to them as a couple now that they're actually going to be together.
Yes.
Time together. I think that this, like, normally I'm not that big a fan of the sequels, you know me, but this one, I feel like we need like the actual movie. We got like
Christmas.
We got this
Christmas
little
baby.
like appetizer. Now we need the entree.
So like Sleepless in Seattle, did you mind that they didn't like see each other until the very end? Did you like that movie compared to this one?
That's an interesting comparison. You know, I think that Sleepless in Seattle is, you get I don't know. That's an interesting comparison because you don't see them together hardly at all. And it's about how they finally find each other. I mean, that one has a Nora Ephron script, so it's a tough comparison. She's my favorite writer. So I guess she pulled it off for me more than this one did, but I didn't hate this movie. I thought it was perfectly serviceable. There were just little things. I was like, oh, and I just kept feeling like, oh, something big is happening. They're building. And then it didn't. I'm like, oh, everybody's fine. Everyone's safe. Nothing bad happened.
I'll tell you. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I think I would have I like the movie, like you said, but I think I would have been in a better like watching mood, I guess, if it was on Hallmark Movies and Mysteries, because those are going to be the more dramatic, or
I think the difference is in Sleepless in Seattle is that the tragedy had already happened, right? And he's this grieving widower in the movie. And so them kind of bonding over that and him sharing his story on the radio and him talking about breathing in and breathing out. And so like, while this one, I was kind of waiting for the big dramatic thing to happen in Sleepless in Seattle, it already happened.
True.
So they're healing. But yeah, that's an interesting one. But I think, like I said, I think this one could have a fun sequel of actually like seeing the couple together.
And I'm sure Kevin and Caleb wouldn't mind.
My grown-up Christmas list too.
Yeah.
More Christmas lists.
Planning for a baby.
But yeah, I liked the two of them together. I love that song. Even if they could have used it a little bit better. I liked Thoroughly Kisses. I liked her family and all of that. So I would give this one out of 5 crowns. I think I'd give it a 3. 3 crowns out of 5. What do you think, Caroline?
I was gonna say 3 as well.
What do you think, Betsy?
3 crowns.
All right.
Hey, this is Jen Johans, host of the podcast Watch with Jen, which delivers a steady stream of great movie recommendations, thoughtful career deep dives, and first-rate conversations with film critics, authors, actors, journalists, filmmakers, and more. You can find Watch with Jen wherever you get your podcasts or hear us first at our Patreon at patreon.com/filmintuition.
Next, we have Campfire Christmas, and this is on the 16th. And it stars Tori Anderson, Corbin Bleu, Jeffrey Bauer Chapman, Matt Hamilton, Caitlin Stryker, and director David L. Strasser, who did A Very Merry Bridesmaid, and writer Anna White, who did Check Into Christmas. And its romance rekindles for Peyton and her closest friends when her parents decide to host a holiday-themed reunion before selling their family-owned summer camp. Our first real Christmas in July movie.
Yes.
So, Caroline, what did you think overall of this movie?
I love this movie just because it was something different, fresh, and I love the camp vibes and the Christmas together. And I thought they were all three relationships were cute in their different stages. And I just love the feel of the movie.
Yeah, I agree. What did you think, Betsy?
Okay, I set this to record, and for some reason it didn't record because I was going to watch it a few days ago to prepare for this, and I couldn't find it, and then it wasn't showing again. So my input will be very little, sadly. But I did talk to Alex Santos, and he was talking all about that, and playing love interest with Jeffrey. So I knew a little bit about it from the interview, but I'm just excited to hear your thoughts on it because it sounds great.
Well, that's okay. That happens sometimes. But yeah, I really enjoyed this movie. I thought it was so much fun. It was a real ensemble feel, which is always enjoyable in a Hallmark movie. I loved the whole concept of this camp. I want to go. Mm-hmm. And I guess it was based on a real camp. And I asked Anna what it was based on, and I guess there was this camp in North Carolina that started the whole idea of Christmas in July.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, she sent me an article called the Keystone Camp. And
one of my my music teacher in high school, she and both of her daughters went to Keystone Camp.
Oh, no way. That's so cool.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Yeah that Brevard, North Carolina.
Yeah, Brevard, yeah.
It's in the Asheville area, I guess.
Mm-hmm. And that's beautiful place, beautiful spot in North Carolina.
I would love to go to this kind of camp. It would be so much fun. And
it was just cute. The snowball fight.
Yeah, that was so clever.
Yeah. And just decorating, and it was summer but still Christmas. It was a good balance, I thought.
I also loved the teens that they got to play the actors. First of all, thank you for not having these 40-year-old actors playing themselves as teenagers like we see sometimes.
Yes.
So thank you for that. And they did a very good job with casting. I thought it really felt like these younger versions of the It was good. And I guess you can get away with the teen casting if it's only a couple minutes. I still don't like it.
Yeah,
that one that Wes Brown was in.
So weird.
With Jessica Lowndes, and they were playing teenagers. It was not good.
Yeah.
But in this one, there's some major time spent with these teenage characters. So you really need casting. So that was a good move. They did a very good job with that. And I liked, like you said, all of these different couples that they had. It was nice. I really liked Janice and Dave, the married couple. That was good. Their conflict seemed very easy, to relate to, and it wasn't like too much of a downer. Like you never really worried that they were going to break up, but they were just having some challenges. And Caitlin Stryker is so good. She should get a movie.
She really should. Like, it's time. She's been in so many. So,
Betsy, have you interviewed Caitlin Stryker?
Summer.
Yeah,
I did. Yeah, she's great. She was
Isn't
so
she
fun.
Great?
I really like her. She did that one, what was with Cindy Busby this past spring. I mean, she's in something almost every season, I feel like. So she's definitely, give her a leading role.
And I think her and Matt Hamilton had really nice chemistry.
They
together.
did. And it felt like they were like a married couple, you know, like it wasn't anything awkward, you know.
Yes. So then we have Beckett and Chris as another couple. Beckett played by Jeffrey Boyer Chapman, and I forgot to write down Chris is the one you interviewed, right? Alex Santos. Anyway, so they played characters that had crushes on each other at camp, but neither of them had come out yet, and so they were. That now was the first time that they kind of reconnected. And I thought that was really well done. They did. I feel like they definitely have like a heightened idea of how much money Broadway professional singers make.
Yeah.
They were acting like, I mean, unless this guy's like Lin-Manuel Miranda or something like that. Like,
exactly.
I don't think he's like taking limos and stuff like that. That was kind of funny.
And the soap actor, that was funny.
Yeah.
It made me laugh.
These people are really crushing it in their jobs.
Yeah.
I did look, and the median salary for a Broadway actor is, and I don't know when this statistic was, I forgot to write that down, was median is $127K, but you have to consider that is in New York City when everything is very expensive. So, I mean, just to live there, that's going to be a huge chunk of that $127K.
Yeah.
For your apartment alone. So one interesting thing about this movie is that you have the Christmas camp is going to be closing. Her parents are retiring, and it actually closes. Spoiler alert. That I thought there was going to be something to happen to come in at the end. I mean, she says, "Oh, I'll run the camp," but they're like, "No, you shouldn't do that. You want to be a writer. That's your dream." And so I thought that was nice. Something a little bit unpredictable.
I thought about you when I saw during the ending. I'm like, Rachel's gonna love this. Yeah. The camp actually closed.
I also thought it was funny, some of the jokes about the early 2000s. I was in college in the early 2000s, graduated from college in 2002. But yeah, that Beckett got the frosted tips, and
that made me laugh so hard. I'm like, that was middle school for me in high school.
I do think that, so she's supposedly going to write this book about the camp, and I don't really think that this book about the camp would be like a huge seller. They were acting like this thing is going to be big. Probably not.
It looked like it was like a children's book at the end.
It was like an art book.
Yeah.
Yeah, like an art book. And I mean, I'm sure everybody went to the camp, maybe people in North Carolina, that kind of thing would want to buy the art book, but it just doesn't seem like something that's going to be like huge.
New York bestseller.
Yeah. Yeah. But on the other hand, if in this world of this movie, it's going to be huge, then they are going to, why in the world would her publisher not want the person who knows all the stuff about it to write the book? That didn't make any sense. Like, that was just nonsensical. But I loved the scene when they are putting together the gingerbread houses and he puts the super glue on his fingers.
Yeah, that was so really funny. Yeah.
There was a pretty big kiss in this movie, midway kiss. Yeah, it was good.
I'm like, way to go, Hallmark, with the mid-movie kisses. Like, we've been asking for this for years.
Yes. And I think Corbin Bleu, he's a good fit for these movies.
Yeah, I like him.
Yeah. He's done a couple now for either Lifetime or Hallmark. And I'm excited about it. I'm here for it.
Yeah.
I also loved the fact that that Chris and Beckett were kind of like, well, you're in New York City and you're in LA. Let's make it work. Let's do it. Instead of being like, we don't live near each other. We can't start a relationship.
That was,
you probably
like, way to go. I'm like, way to go being adults and thinking this through.
Yeah, as if like tons of actors don't also basically do the New York to LA scene all the time, where they spend time on both coasts. That's very common.
And with his apparent salary, he could fly to LA and visit all the time.
Yeah. So yeah, that's right. He was driving limos and stuff. He can certainly get a ticket on Southwest every now and then. Frontier. So then we have the choreographed dance sequence in the pageant, which was a lot of fun.
I love the pageant. I'm like, it was very cute.
Yeah. And Matt's talked about that, how he's just not a very good dancer, but the experience of doing this choreographed dance. Did Alex say anything about that, Betsie?
Oh gosh, I remember hearing about glitter and like,
oh yeah,
that it was a big deal getting all dressed up for it. I missed the pageant. I gotta see if they're gonna re-air this soon because you're just hyping this up, ladies.
Yeah.
I hope it lives up to our.
I'm sure it will.
I mean, it was just fun. It was fun. And it was perfect timing for me too, because that day, on the 16th, I had done my open water swim. So I was staying at an actual lodge, Beaver Creek Lodge, over by Bear Lake in Utah. And so it was kind of like the perfect movie to watch when I'm like literally staying in a lodge. And
very nice.
Yes. So yeah, that's basically the movie. It was a nice ensemble piece. I liked all of the relationships. I liked her relationship with her parents was well done. And I also liked the fact that a lot of times in these movies, you have the past relationship where they break up because the guy decides, well, I don't want you to stop you from living your dreams, right? And that always annoys me because I'm like, no, you need to let it be her choice. You don't make the decision for her that, oh, well, I knew you wouldn't want to, I knew you would give up your dreams. And no. Yeah. And in this one, they actually like had a legit breakup where they like argued and they broke up, and it wasn't like him sacrificing himself for her or anything nonsense like that. This was a real breakup, and she was legit irritated about it.
Yeah, she was.
It was good. So I give this pretty high score. I think I definitely would want to watch it again. I enjoyed it. It was something different. So I'd probably give it like a 4.5.
I was going to say 4.5 too. Like we are on the same wavelength tonight.
Well, Betsie, you'll have to tweet out or whatever, or on Instagram, your score, your crowns, and tag us.
I will do that.
Okay, good.
We'd like to take a second from this episode of the podcast to celebrate our sponsor of this episode, and that is the Hallmarkies Patreon.
Do you love Hallmarkies podcast?
Do you want an inside scoop into what happens on the podcast?
Do you want early access to episodes and loads of cool perks?
Now is the time to become a patron of Hallmarkies podcast.
By becoming a patron, you get to access our patron Facebook group.
You can request episodes or even be a guest on the podcast.
And most importantly, any patron can join our monthly movie watch-alongs with stars like Paul Campbell, Natalie Hall, and more.
It's as low as $2 a month to join in and become a special part of the Hallmarkies family.
Please consider, and we will love you forever.
Go to patreon.com/Hallmarkies.
That's patreon.com/Hallmarkies.
All right. Last one, Christmas in Toyland. And this was on the 23rd, and it stars Vanessa Lenjuez. I'm not sure how you say her last name, but anyway, and Jesse Hutch, and director Bill Corcoran, and writer Courtney McAllister and Kate Pragnell. and it's a toy store data analyst attempts to save hundreds of jobs right before Christmas to help keep the in-store experience alive. So, Betsie, what did you think? You got to see this one, I assume.
Yes, I did watch this actually like this afternoon. I'm so bad about watching these live. But I did watch it, and it's Lengies. I talked to her, and her last name is pronounced Lengies. But yeah, I liked it a lot. I know she's done like another Hallmark movie before, but it's so nice to see like new actors for the most part to the network, because they bring like this fresh energy that I don't want to say we're like used to the other actors' energy who the repeats are, but it's nice to see someone else bring a new fresh like style. And I thought she was really fun to watch. I just really liked that. And of course Jesse, he was so good. I felt like he was so believable, and so just like certain points, like he was like at the end when he was announcing to the workers that it was closing, he was so like vulnerable, like, and so like he seemed hurt, and I was like, gosh, he's a really good actor. And I just really liked them together. I thought it was great. It was fun. And like the store ended up closing, like you were talking about,
shocker.
like the camp closing. I was like, that is kind of refreshing, because it's always about saving something from going out of business or whatever it is. And this was nice to see, well, this is closing, but now their door's opening. So it's more true to life in that sense.
Yeah, because when you think about it, there's sometimes so much importance placed on material possessions in Hallmark movies. That this house or this farm or this whatever, sometimes it's even just like a toy or something like that, that it means so much. When really, like, it's obviously more about family and friends and memories and all of that. So yeah, kind of nice. There, I guess Christmas in July, they just like torch everything. closing the camp, closing the store. It's great. What do you think, Caroline?
I liked it. I love Jesse, and it was nice seeing him back in Hallmark movies. And I like that the store ended up closing, but it was, I like that they got to live out their dreams anyway with the store closing.
Yeah, because he wants to do this trinket town. So that's like, and her dream is to design toys. I mean, both of these characters took toy selling and toy making extremely seriously. Like
they did.
Yeah, this is very. Yeah, I did too. I had seen Vanessa she did a Hallmark movie a couple years ago, but also she was on the Turner and Hooch show on Disney Plus, and that was actually a surprisingly charming show. It's a shame it only got one season. Paul Campbell was on it as well. So was Lindsay Finesca. She was on it. So a bunch of Hallmark. Matt Hamilton was on it. So a lot of Hallmark people, and she was on it and kind of played the sort of nerdy dog trainer who has a crush on Turner. And she was very good, charming, likable. So I was excited to see her be in this. And I did think that her and Jesse had a nice chemistry. And we've seen this story so many times of like the executive coming in to the factory and, trying to kind of change things or analyze things, whether it's like a cookie factory or a Kringle factory or the hat store, whatever.
Many.
Yes, so many. But yeah, this one, I mean, aside from the closing, I would say it was a pretty basic Hallmark movie, Hallmark Christmas movie, but I was fine with that because I liked the actors and it was cute. And so I enjoyed it. I think that I had little nitpicks, like the background music was so loud in this movie. Like it reminded me of like 2014, 2015 Hallmark, where every single thing that happens was accompanied by like really perky background music that was too loud.
True.
Like and just turn it down a little bit. It shouldn't be so loud. Again, nitpick. But I loved the whole store. Wherever that store is was really fun. Like with the slide and everything, and it looked fun.
And I like that although she was in corporate, she had like a reason why she wanted to help the store. and that was refreshing. And she wasn't going to close it. She wanted to help, keep it going.
Yeah.
But I wanted to go down that slide. It looks so much fun.
It did. Because sometimes the stores in these movies can be underwhelming. I remember that one with Bobby Campo, where it's supposed to be this like amazing Christmas store, and it was just not amazing. It was just like a normal store. So this one was a really fun. It looked like a legit fun toy store. And they managed to put this party together very quickly.
I know.
For this store.
That was impressive.
Yeah. And they say our dream is the same dream. They realize. They make comments about how they're like Thelma and Louise, and I'm thinking, do they know the ending of that movie? It doesn't end well for Thelma and Louise, but
someone else tweeted that. That made me laugh.
Yeah,
well, did they know
at the
what
end of that
happened?
movie? Spoiler alert. So they're gonna close the store and live their dreams, making toys. So
Santa.
Yeah. And we also have this scene where he gives the little girl the art set.
Yes, that was sweet.
Yeah, that was very sweet. Very, very sweet.
And the elf dust, that was cute.
That was good too. So yeah, I would give this one a 3.5 crowns. What about you, Betsie?
How about 3.75?
Yeah. What about you, Caroline?
Let's just make it an clean sweep 3.5, same as you, as all the movies. Yeah.
Very good. So there we go. Let us know what you think of these 3 Christmas in July movies. I would say, I love Campfire Christmas. I really loved last year's Christmas in July movie, Crashing Through the Snow. So I think they're about at the same. But I liked all 3, and they were certainly better. All 3 were better than that Christmas Camp.
Yes.
Ooh, which was not, that was one of my least favorites ever. So way to go, Hallmark. 3 solid, entertaining Christmas in July movies. We should be so lucky every year.
Let's hope Countdown to Christmas is just as good. Yeah.
I am so excited for the Rockette movie that we got the clips for and stuff, because my grandma loved the Rockettes, and we even went to New York and did a whole trip just to see the Rockettes at Christmas. So that one's gonna be very high on my hype list. Yeah, I see a diamond ring coming in our preview.
Yes.
So very good. Well, thank you so much, Betsie, for coming on and talking about these movies. We really appreciate it.
Oh, thanks for asking. I appreciate you asking. I was going to say, At the Rockettes is movies written by Julie Sherman Wolfe. And
that's right.
She said she got to go to New York City and visit the set and everything, and that she was so excited. So yeah, if y'all want to listen, I can't remember how far. It was pretty far into the interview when I talked to her for Always Maury, but she was so excited. She said the production value for this film is really high for Hallmark, so I think it's going to be amazing.
Even more reason to be excited, because I love Julie. That's great. That's great. Yeah, it's gonna. I probably will get emotional because I love my grandma so much, and I miss her, and that was a special memory. So all right, well, we hope you all enjoyed. If you're listening, that you enjoyed the Christmas in July. Let us know your crown rating 1 to 5, what you would give these movies. And Betsie, how can people find you and your podcast?
Oh, well, I would say Google. You could just Google Hallmark Happenings. I'm Hallmark Happenings and on Instagram. I can't talk. And then YouTube. Subscribe to me on YouTube, guys. I'd appreciate it. And thank you for anyone who follows along with all I'm doing. And thank you for letting me be on this podcast with you guys.
So we appreciate it. And Caroline, how can people find you?
You can follow me on Twitter at MetaCarolineR.
Great. And you can find me at Rachel's Reviews, all of our social media, iTunes, YouTube, and on Rotten Tomatoes. So check that out. Also make sure that you're following the podcast on Hallmarkies Pod and Hallmarkies Podcast, all of our social media. And if you are listening on iTunes, please leave us your ratings, reviews for our podcast and for Betsie's podcast. We would so appreciate it. And if you are listening on YouTube, please give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. We appreciate that so much. We also have the patron group, which is super fun, and you chance to be part of watch-alongs and other patron events. So please take a look at that. And then we also have the merch store, which has tons of festive design. So please take a look. And we have our 5th anniversary special new design that's really fun. I'm very proud of it. So take a look at that in the merch store. And thanks again, Betsie, and we'll talk to y'all later. Merry Christmas in July.